images before me, not even of the likeness of the things on earth, or in the heavens above, or in the waters beneath the sea, for my name is jealous, and I'm a jealous God. I have nothing before me. Either Moses was right, or this is right. I'm asking, who is right? He said, no, Moses is right. I said, if Moses is right, then this is wrong. He said, yes. I said, they're not the same. He says, no. Right. There's a what do you say? That? One picture is worth 10,000 words. Instead of explaining like this, like that, come. Have a look at this. This is it. And the other picture, mental picture you have. Now, between the two, you see any difference? Yes. Both can be right? He says no. So if this is right, wrong, then that is right, and that is right, this is wrong. Yes. They're not the same. He says no. Now, this is how, you can explain. There are so many things, as I said, clinically taking up idea by idea, this reincarnation business. How did that come about? You see, when my ancestors, 5,000 years ago, you see, they came from Mesopotamia of old, what is now modern Iraq. There were certain Indo-Germanic tribes, according to the anthropologist, 5,000 years ago. And the grazing ground was getting too tight for them. So they started moving out. One went north, the other came south through the Khyber Pass into India, and one remained. The one that went north are the Germans. They say we are the Aryans, the master race. You remember Hitler? And his swastika? You'll find some swastikas here too. You'll find some swastikas in the Hindu pictures. Show you something else now. Swastikas. What happened to the swastikas? They're hidden away. So, the Hitler had his swastika, that cross. And my Hindu cousin, they also have swastikas. I was wondering, what is this? Because Diwali time came, they made those beautiful designs and say swastikas. I said, this guy, why are they copying Hitler? No, they were not copying Hitler. You see, 5,000 years back, this was the emblem of the Aryans. The Germans say we are the Aryans, the master race. My cousins, now, if I was not a Muslim, I would also be saying, I'm an Aryan, the master race. 5,000 years ago, you see, we were one people. The Germans, the Iranians, and my Banya cousins. We were one people 5,000 years ago. 5,000 years of intermarriage with the Nordic people, and the climate and the diet made the Germans what they are. 5,000 years of intermarriage with the Indian people, and the climate made my people what they are. The Iranian is the nearest to what an Aryan ought to be. The Iranian. The Iranian is not an Arab. He's an Aryan. The ex-Shah of Iran, he was boasting, I'm Arya Mahr, the light of the Aryans. See, but he's also got a lot of Arab blood, a lot of Turkish blood in the Iranian nation, but he is the nearest to what a true Aryan ought to be. But racially, bone structure, my Hindustani and Banya cousins, and the Iranians and the Germans are one racial stock 5,000 years back. Now, when they conquered India, see, they were a lighter complexion people, and they walked into India with the swords and the spears. They walked into a town, they said, this is ours. And the people gave in, no fight. He says, the gods have come to take their inheritance. It's all yours, boss. Walked into a village, he says, this is ours. So, boss, take it. They took India without fight. They took it, the sword and the spears. These were docile people, the Indian people, very docile. That's 5,000 years ago. They just walked in, conquered. Now my ancestors, they were a very clever people. Look, 5,000 years ago, I said they made gold jewelry. 5,000 years ago, they made a muslin cloth. 5,000 years ago, they had a waterborne sword. When the white man was living in caves like animals, my ancestors were civilized. What happened? Allah tells you in the Quran. He tells you what happened. So, kul siru fil ard. He said, travel through the earth. Fanzuru and see. Kaifa kana aqibat allazina min qabl. What has happened to those before you? Kana aksaran nasi mushrikun. Another place, again, kul siru fil ard, so kana aksar nase munkirun, kana aksar nase kafirun. Again and again Allah says, go and travel through the earth and see. What has happened to those before you? Most of them were mushriks, most of them were unbelievers, kafirs, most of them were ungrateful wretches. So, see what happened to them. Learn a lesson from them. Allah's telling you. These people, they were worshipping the elements. See? Rama didn't make a raft because he was afraid of the sea god. That's the reason. He knew that they would float. But he said, the sea god might get angry. So, he says, no, slowly we'll put, rocks into the water. The sea god can still slip away. And then took them 12 years and they crossed. See, India is such a civilized nation, they couldn't cross to Mombasa. You know that? They didn't cross to Mombasa. But the Arabs came, and the Portuguese came, and the French came, and the British came and conquered our land. Right? They were not afraid of the sea god. My cousins, they were afraid of the sea. Look, they were mushriks, worshipping the elements. This is the reason. But highly intelligent people. So they said, look man, India is a land of teeming millions, even then, compared to themselves. They were perhaps 10,000 men, women and children. But because they were fighting people, they conquered the land. Now what to do? They had the sense to know what Jesus Christ only said 2,000 years ago. He told his people in the Garden of Gethsemane that he who lives by the sword shall die by the sword. Means if force of arm is the thing that justifies your existence, by force of arm somebody is going to do away with you. This is not a means for justifying power or anything. See, my Hindu ancestors, they knew this 5,000 years ago. So they said, we must weave an intellectual bondage around these people, the Indians. Physical bondage, because it is visible. Once you realize what it is, you can easily break it. Like in Mozambique. 500 years the Portuguese ruled Mozambique. When the African came to realize, the Mozambican, so what makes this guy to rule us? He's not stronger than us. He's not more than us. They say, it's his technology. It's his gun. Say, well, we must also get the gun. They say, no, they won't let us have it. So China said, we will let